Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Sabhi boliye, Hare Krishna. So, when we come to the temple, it is very nice that we come and see Krishna. It is very nice to have darshan of Krishna. It is very nice to make an offering to Krishna. It is very nice that we take some prasadam. But one of the most important aspects of coming to the temple is not those things we just mentioned, but what else is very important coming to the temple? Anyone knows? Sorry? Chanting, yes, chanting is important. Sorry? Devotion to Krishna, you all right? Surrender? Prabhu? Huh? Association. Right, sadhu sangha. The sadhus, the devotees, the Vaishnavas, they're very, very, very dear to Krishna because they have given everything up. Most of us are in sansar. How many of us are going to take sannyas? Put your hands up. Not many of us. Very, very far and few between. Most of us are all caught up in our dharma. We're caught up in our duties. We're caught up in our day-to-day life. So when we come to the temple, it is important we get some gyan. And not just any gyan, dibya gyan, transcendental knowledge. Because this transcendental knowledge is the knowledge that will set you free. Shanti, please. So, we are karma bandhana. Karma bandhana, we are caught up with our karmic activities. So, as a result of that, we are suffering in the material world. No one likes to suffer. No one likes to have pain. But these things are enforced upon us. So when we take the association of the devotees, then they can give us knowledge to set us free. And where does this knowledge come from? It comes from the scriptures, from the Vedas, from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Mahabharata, from the Ramayana. So today, we are observing this one particular day called Bhishmaka Panchak. Bhishmaka, anyone know who Bhishmaka is by any chance? Sorry? That's another Bhishma, but this Bhishmak Panchak is for a different particular occasion. Bhishmaka is the father of Rukmini. Anyone been to Dwarka in Gujarat? Anyone? So Krishna lived in Dwarka and he had 16,108 wives. He had many, many wives. Not recommended to have so many wives. But Krishna is Bhagavan. He can do what he likes. He has the ability to look after 16,108 wives. And he manages to keep them all very, very happy. And it is said out of those 16,000, 8 of them were his prime wives. And out of all those prime wives, the one which was his foremost queen was Rukmini. So if you go to Dwarka, there's a nice temple, Rukmini Dwarkadish. So today we're observing that Rukmini was about to get married. If you're a father, then you have the responsibility of getting your daughter married. How many people have daughters? How many people have in anxiety about their daughter getting married? Finding the right partner, finding the right person, trying to go to shadi.com or something or another. It's not easy to find the right person for your daughter. So Bhishmaka, he had a daughter, Rukmini, and he also wanted somebody suitable. So sometimes in family there's not always an agreement who the sister or who the daughter should get married to. Rukmini's brother Rukmi did not agree with the father. The father wanted Krishna to be the husband of his daughter. But the son Rukmi, he did not agree. He wanted his sister to marry Shishupal. But Shishupal is a dharmic person. He's of the Asura class. He's not someone who follows the dharmic way of life. And Bhishmaka was one who was following the dharmic way of life. And he wanted his daughter to marry to someone dharmic. And who is more dharmic than Krishna? But sometimes we don't always come in that agreement with the family. So no matter how much the father tried to persuade the son Rukmi, he was adamant that his sister should marry Shishupal. So this caused a lot of anxiety for Bhishmaka. So Bhishmaka took it upon himself that he would perform austerities. He would perform penance. And with this penance, he was hoping that he can attract Krishna. By performing austerities, by performing something that will please Krishna, then this will attract Krishna. So he performed severe austerities, not for 1 day, not for 2 days, not for 3 days, but 5 days. So from now until Wednesday, he performed austerities. He was fasting. He didn't take any water. And he did extra prayers. He did extra puja. So these 5 days are very, very important if we are serious to try and get Krishna's Ashirwad. If we're serious to try and get Krishna's blessings, then we have to perform some austerities to please Krishna. We like our comforts in life. Who likes comforts in life? We all like our comforts. Particularly one of the nice things in life is we like to eat, isn't it? We all like to do pet puja. We like to eat very nicely. But if we give up something, either sweets, if we do Ferrari, some devotees, they do Ferrari for 5 days. Some people eat only once a day. Some people don't take any salt. Some people just eat only fruits. So some people who are very, very, very strict, they only take things which are derived from the cow. There's a certain way you can perform austerities by eating or partaking only those things that come from the cow. So they might take only milk, or in the milk they'll put a little cow dung, or they put a little ghee or little dye, and that is what they subside in for 5 days. And why do we do these austerities? Why do we perform those austerities? It is to purify our heart. It is to attract Krishna. When we perform something that it is out of our comfort zone, then Krishna becomes very, very pleased. Krishna becomes very, very happy. And that is the way that we can attract Krishna. So we ask that the next 5 days, then whatever is possible within yourself, take a vrata, take a vow, take some austerity on behalf of Krishna. You have all come here to seek the blessings of Krishna. You're all hoping to get the darshan of Krishna. There's no better way to get darshan of Krishna than to perform some austerities for the pleasure of Krishna. So this is what this 5 days of Bhishmaka is, that we try and increase our devotion to Krishna. And if you can't perform austerities, if you can't fast, if you can't do Ferrari, that's okay. It is not always easy to control. We humbly ask you not to talk over here, please. If you want to talk, if you can please go outside. If you can't perform austerities by controlling the jiv, the tongue, then there's another simple way, which is very, very easy. And that is simply to chant the names of Krishna. Krishna has very, very kindly come in his holy names. And if we chant his name, then we can have Krishna's darshan. The Maha Mantra is written over there. So then we can all chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We all have a busy life, but we ask you to just get up a little bit early. Make a little time. There's 24 hours in a day. Time goes by very, very quickly. Life goes by very, very quickly. We do not have very, very long on this planet. We must try and utilize whatever time we have. So therefore it is important that when there's these holy days, like Bhishmaka Panchak, like Ekadashi, like Kartik, we make a little extra effort to try and please Krishna. Krishna's not asking too much. I think it's very, very simple to chant. You can chant either on beads, you can chant within your heart, you can chant loud, you can chant during Aarti. So just by chanting, then all the different pap that we have accumulated, this all disappears. So if we don't take advantage, then Bhaktivedanta Thakur has written, great misery will await for us. He has explained that you have obtained this rare Uttam Janam, this human form of life. After 84 lakh, 8 million, 400,000 species of life. We have got this Uttam Janam. So most of us, maybe not you, but people who are not aware about the importance of this human form of life, they're just eating, sleeping, and enjoying life. But Bhaktivedanta Thakur says that if we don't use this life, then great sorrow awaits us at the time of death. So what is his suggestion to avoid this sorrow? It is to worship the darling of Yashoda. And who is the darling of Yashoda? Krishna, Mukunda, Kanaya. So we should take it upon ourselves to chant the names of Krishna. We're given this tongue. It is very, very easy to have village talk. It is very, very easy to just talk about things which are irrelevant. But if we use this time to talk about Krishna, to try and understand his pastimes, to chant his names, then this is the best way we can utilize this human form of life. If we don't use this human form of life in a nice way, then unfortunately, then as Bhaktivedanta Thakur has said, then great sorrow will await us. Do you want sorrow in your life? Or do you want joy in your life? So we all want joy. And the best joy we can have is to reawaken our dormant love that we have for Krishna. If we try to enjoy life separately from Krishna, then we will only come with frustration. Hare Krishna.
My son wants to sing a song, Krishna song.
There will be time afterwards. Yeah. Now is pravachan time. It is important to listen. There will be arti, there will be time to sing. Now it's time to listen pravachan so we can get some dibya gyan. So that is Bhishmaka. So would anyone like to put their hands up and make a little sacrifice for the next 5 days? Anyone? Put your hands up. You don't have to tell me what you want to do. You don't have to give any public announcement. But then take this opportunity to try and make some austerity, something that will please Krishna. So that is Bhishmaka Panchak. Today also we are observing the disappearance of Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Who has not heard of Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj? Anyone? Hands up. Everyone knows who Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj is? So Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he is the spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master. He appeared in India, and at a very, very early age, he could understand that life in this material world was not just about trying to live in the world. So at the age of 30, he renounced everything. He gave up his life in the material world, and he took what we call Babaji Avesh. Means that he didn't have any designation. And he lived in Vrindavan, and there he performed austerities and japa, chanting the names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So most of us, maybe we are chanting 16 rounds a day, Maybe some of us, we don't have that time to chant 16. Maybe we're chanting 8. Maybe we're chanting 4 rounds. Maybe we're chanting 1 round. Maybe we're not chanting any rounds. But Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he chanted, how many rounds do you think he chanted? How many? 64, nearly right. He chanted 180 rounds a day. 180 rounds a day. So it's a very, very difficult task. It is not an easy task to chant constantly. But the reason why he was chanting so much, because he was getting rasam. What is rasam? Nectar. He was getting taste. When we chant, maybe we chant out of duty. When we chant, maybe because we do it, we've been told to chant. When we chant, because we're trying to get some bhakti. When we chant, maybe we're trying to attract Krishna. But when Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj was chanting, he was chanting because he was genuinely getting a taste. It is not easy to sit in one place. It is not easy just to constantly chant the holy names. Prepared. Normally, when we go home, we expect a meal to be prepared for us. But Srila Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he didn't wait until his next meal was going to come. He wasn't thinking breakfast is going to be there. He didn't think lunch is going to be there. He didn't think dinner was going to be there. He depended on Krishna. And whatever the pilgrims brought to him, whatever someone's kindness brought to him, he only accepted that. That's a very, very tall order. That's not an easy position to be in. Imagine just waiting until someone is going to bring your meal to you. So that's the level Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj was in. That was the level that his understanding or his surrender of Krishna was. That he always utilized his time in serving Krishna by chanting his name. Whenever someone tried to give him something, he was very, very detached. One rich merchant came to him and said, Swamiji, I want to build a nice house for you. Because he was just living underneath a tree. And he said, we want to build a nice house for you. Then Gokishore Das replied, if you build a house for me, I will live there peacefully. And then inside the house, then I will want a wife. And then with the wife, then I will need to get some things to sustain her, to support her. Then I will need to get a job. And I will need to maintain this house. But I don't want to complicate my life with these kind of things. I want to keep my life very, very simple. So your gesture of giving a house is very kind. But if I take this house, it will complicate my life. I just want to live under a tree and accept what God provides with me, what God gives for me. So in this way, he lived in a very, very peaceful way. But because he was such an elevated person, many people were going to him to try and get ashirwad, to try and get blessings. Generally, we want to get the blessings of a sadhu. We want to get the ashirwad of a sadhu. So many people would go and try and find him and try and get his blessings, try and get his ashirwad. Because when a sadhu gives you blessings, they're very, very powerful blessings that you can get. And with these blessings, you can get Krishna Shakti. You can get Krishna Bhakti. But he did not want people coming and disturbing him. So he would hide himself. And sometimes his well-wishers would be looking for him and they would not find him. And they looked everywhere for him. So he would hide himself. He didn't want any cheap kind of worship. Sometimes when we get followers, sometimes when we get adoration, sometimes when we get worshipped by someone, it feeds our false ego. And we kind of think that somebody special. So it's very, very easy when we get some kind of attention to want to feel that we are somebody great. So Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he was very, very careful. He didn't want to be taken in the trappings of wanting to be worshipped. So therefore, he would not be seen or found anywhere. And he lived very, very peacefully. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, the guru of Srila Prabhupada, was asked by his spiritual master or his father, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, to take Diksha. And Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj did not want to accept disciples. Because having disciples is also a botheration. Because you have to deal with the disciples' problems, you have to deal with disciples' issues. Then it says in Kali Yuga, it is not good to have disciples. Of course, somebody has to take disciples. Someone has to take that responsibility. But Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj didn't want to take that responsibility. He was just happy doing his bhajan. So when Bhaktivinoda Thakur instructed his son Bhaktisiddhanta, you please go and take initiation. Then Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, no, I don't want to give you initiation. And particularly, Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj was so simple, Shishirada Gokulananda Ki, that he was quite illiterate. He didn't even know how to read or write. And Bhaktisiddhanta, he was such a great scholar that he was known as a living encyclopedia. And he told Bhaktisiddhanta, you are a great scholar, and I don't even know how to read or write my name. So as a result of that, it is better I don't give you initiation. Then Bhaktisiddhanta said, all my scholar, all my knowledge is not worth one tip of your toenail. It means absolutely nothing. Still, Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj said no. Then he went back to his father. Then his father said, did you get initiation? Did you get Diksha? Then Bhaktisiddhanta said, no, I was refused. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, go, ask again. Then Bhaktisiddhanta, there's a picture of him next to Prabhupada. Then he went to Gokishore Das. My father insists I have to take initiation. And then Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he was very, very adamant. He didn't want any disciples. He said, no, I don't want any more. I don't want any disciples. And then Bhaktisiddhanta, he went back to his father And he said, he refused again for the second time. What can I do? If you go to someone and if they say no the first time, and then again you go no the second time, what am I supposed to do? Then his father was very stern. He said, don't come back to my house unless you get Diksha, unless you get initiation. So then he went again to see Gokishore Das, Babaji Maharaj, and Gokishore Das was coming, and he was coming by the side of the river Ganga, and again Bhaktisiddhanta, he fell flat, and he said, please, please give me Diksha, give me initiation. And again Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, no. And this time Bhaktisiddhanta said, if you don't give me Diksha, if you don't give me initiation, then I will jump in the Ganga. Then he was just about to jump in the Ganga, and then Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj said, no, 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 no. He was testing him, and he passed the test. So then he gave him the name. His father gave him the name Bimal Prasad. But when he got initiation from Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, his name, anyone knows what it became? Vasha Banavi Devi Dayatya Devi Das. Means one who is very dear to Srimati Radha Rani. So that was his spiritual initiation name given by his guru Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Shri Vasha Banavi Devi Dayatya Das. So what lesson can we learn from this? What important lesson can we learn? When Arjuna was very, very confused, when he didn't know what his duty was, then what did Arjuna say to Krishna? I am a soul surrendered unto you. Arjuna and Krishna had a very nice, friendly relationship. They were cousins. They enjoyed nice friendship. But when Arjuna was in a confused state, then he put his friendship on the side because he didn't know what his duty was. He was very confused. Then he said, please Krishna, you instruct me. Tell me what to do. So Krishna's position from a Sakya, from a friend, from there it became one of a guru. And the guru is very, very important to have in one's spiritual life. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tad vidhi pranipatena paripashena sevaya upadangshanchi gyante gyanina tattva darshana. So if one is serious about spiritual life, if one wants to get the knowledge, we can get the knowledge, but we need to have a guru who can impart the knowledge. Supposing you're going to school, isn't it? This is your child over here. What's his name? Keshav. Oh, that's a beautiful name. Keshav. Hare Krishna. Say Hare Krishna, Keshav. So supposing Keshav is going to school and the mother decides, no. He can just stay at home and he can just learn on his own. So what do you think is better for Keshav? To go to school and learn with a teacher, or for Keshav to stay and learn on his own? What do you think is better? Yes? School, that's right. So that's why these schools, these institutions are there. Maybe we can get knowledge. Maybe obviously some people are homeschooling. But the teachers are there to help you understand the textbook. The teachers are there to help you any questions that you might have. So that is the important role of having a guru, because he has the knowledge, he has the understanding, because he has given up sansar, he has given up all material things, he has dedicated his life towards Krishna, he understands the scripture, he gets up early in the morning and he studies the Gita and he lives the Gita. And as a result of that, he has a good understanding. And then he can give you this knowledge. And Krishna says that when you approach a guru, then you got to have humility. You got to have humble. You cannot ask the teacher a question, "Teacher, tell me what is the answer." Isn't it? And if you approach the teacher like that, then the teacher will not give you knowledge. You might get detention. So, therefore, when we approach a guru or a sadhu, it has to be one of humility, one of humbleness. And then with that kind of knowledge or that understanding, then the guru is very, very happy. Then he can impart the knowledge. And don't think guru is just for some people. Don't think guru is not for everyone. Krishna had a guru. Who was Krishna's guru? Anyone knows? Who was Krishna's guru? That's right, thank you. Sandipani Muni was Krishna's guru. Ram Bhagwan had a guru. Who was Ram's guru? That's right, Vashishta. Vashishta was the guru of Ram. So this is the tradition in our Vedic culture. This line, which is there on the back, this is our Guru Srila Prabhupada, then his guru Bhaktisiddhanta, and then his guru Gokishore Das Babaji, who was celebrating his Tirubhava disappearance, then his guru. And this is the way this knowledge passes down from one guru to the disciple. And this disciplic succession is mentioned there in the Bhagavad Gita, Evam Param Praptam. This knowledge was first given by Krishna. And who did this knowledge Krishna give to? Anyone knows? He gave to Brahma. And Brahma gave it to Manu, to Narada Muni, to Veda Vyas. And in this way, this knowledge was passed down from one guru to disciple, from one guru to disciple, from one guru to disciple. So, that is the foundation of the Vedic culture, that we accept a guru. And there's different types of guru. There's the Diksha guru who gives you a name. We just explained the story of how Bhaktisiddhanta got his name, then his name was changed. Then there's Siksha guru who gives you knowledge. You don't have to take Diksha, but then as you slowly progress in life, as you start to get knowledge, then you start to understand the wisdom of the scriptures. And then if you're serious, then you take the next step. We have a school of bhakti here. One of the courses we do is guru and disciple. So ultimately, this world that we're living in is not our real home. Our real home is with Krishna. If you look at that painting over there, where the lotus flower is, there is Krishna with Radharani. and he's performing his Leela in Vrindavan, in Goloka Vrindavan. And then if you see the blue circle, that is called the Mahatattva. And there is Mahavishnu lying over there. From his navel comes the universes, not from his navel, from his pores. And one of the bubble inside there is Shiradakshai Vishnu, Karnadakshai Vishnu. And from that Vishnu, then Brahma comes from the lotus. And then from there, we have all the different planets. Om, Bhur, Bhuva, Swa, Tapa, Jnana Loka, all up to Brahma Loka, Satya Loka. And beneath us, we have all the Narak, the Patala Lokas. So we're in the Bhur Loka. And this Bhur Loka, we're stuck over here. Chakudan Dilohe, birth after birth. We're stuck here. Reincarnation. So when we come in contact with this knowledge, the Bhagavad Gita, with the Guru, then we can stop this reincarnation. We can stop this repeated birth and death. We just have to turn on the news. We see so much pain, so much suffering, so much tension. So this world is called Dukkha Loka. It's a place of suffering. It's also known as Mrityu Loka, a place where everyone inevitably has to die. And nobody wants to die, frankly speaking. We all want to live forever. That's because that's what our soul, we are made of. By nature, this body that we see is only a vehicle where the soul resides. And the purpose of our human life is to free ourselves from this material body and get our spiritual body, Siddha Deha body. And then we can ascend to the higher spiritual place and go back home, back to Godhead, and be with Krishna and serve Krishna in a very loving way. But to get to Krishna, it's simple and it's hard. It's simple. All we have to do is try and surrender. But it's hard because we have to make an effort. It's not going to come unless we make an effort. How many times have you gone in a kitchen and your meal is already automatically there? I don't think so. It happens. You have to make an effort. You have to go shopping. You have to prepare. You have to cook. You have to then offer to Krishna. And then afterwards you eat. So an effort has to be made. So it's the same thing. If we truly want Krishna, then we have to make an effort. And it is very, very simple. Krishna says, Patram paspam phalam toyam. Patram, what is patram? Anyone know? Leaf. That is all. If you have tulsi leaf, obviously it's nice. If you got some flower, pushpa, then you can offer that. Some jal. So these are the very, very simple things Krishna is asking. But it has to be saturated with bhakti, with love. And only then. We know there's a beautiful story from the Mahabharata. The Krishna was visiting Hastinapur. And when Krishna visited Hastinapur, then Duryodhana wanted to invite Krishna for lunch. And then Duryodhana arranged a big, nice, lavish dinner. The best cooks, the best ingredients, everything was there. All served very, very nicely. He was trying to impress Krishna. Then after that, Krishna went to the house of Vidura. And Vidura was very, very happy to receive Krishna. But Vidura was very, very humble. he didn't have very much. And in his house, he only had some bananas. And his wife was preparing the bananas. But his wife was so happy that Krishna had come to her house. She started crying. Imagine if your doorbell rang and Krishna was there. How happy would you be? How elated would you be? Tears of joy and happiness. So Vidura's wife was so happy to receive Krishna that there was tears of bhakti, love. And then she didn't know what she was doing when she was preparing Krishna's meal. So then, without knowing what she was doing, she was throwing the banana away and offering Krishna banana peel. Now, just imagine if you were invited to a house and your host offered you a banana peel. How many of you would be upset? Most of us will be expecting some nice palak paneer or some motor paneer. And if the host says, we got some banana peels for you, I think most of us would get a little bit upset, a huff and a puff, and we'll probably give a negative review on Google. But not Krishna. Krishna was so happy that Krishna did not just accept the banana peel, but Krishna actually ate it. So that's the level of bhakti that we want to try and somehow or another have, that we want to try and attract Krishna with our bhakti. And then Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, is very, very kind. He's an ocean of kindness. If we make one step towards Krishna, then Krishna makes 3 steps. So this last 5 days that we are observing, called Bhishmaka Panchak, take a little time. Take a little extra time for Krishna. Make some austerities. Make a vrat. Make a vardhan. Something that will please Krishna. Because Krishna also says that on this path, there is no loss or diminution. Whatever bhakti we do, whatever Krishna's name we chant, it will go to our internal credit. And these last 5 days, anything we'll do gets multiplied by hundreds of times. So if you chant 1 round, it's equivalent to 100 round. So if you chant 16 rounds, who's good at maths? Anyone good at maths? So if you chant 16 rounds, and if it's equivalent to 100, how much is it worth? 16,000. So take the opportunity, that Bhagavad Gita that might be collecting some dust, that bead bag that might be collecting some dust, use it, pray to Krishna. One day, eventually, take that step, accept a guru, and your life will become perfect. Krishna will look after you. Mare Krishna Rakhe Ke. If Krishna loves you, then he will protect you. And that is Krishna's own vardhan, his own promise, Sarva Dharma Parityagya, that if you give up everything for me, then what will I give you? I give you my very, very self. So that is what Krishna will give. And imagine having Krishna on your side. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Kauravas had a more powerful army. They were superior in force. But because the Pandavas had Krishna, then there's no way the Kauravas were going to win in any way. So we all ask you to please take this opportunity to please chant extra, give something up for Krishna, and Krishna will become very happy. So if we can all please raise our hands, reach to Krishna, ask for his ashirwad, ask for his blessings,